Music, I think, empowers, whether it educates, it heals, it calms, it inspires. And my journey, I think, started perhaps when I was in the womb or as a child, I don't know. So I'd like you to take you on my journey as a musician, right from birth until where I stand before you. And just shut your eyes for a bit and experience what I experienced as a baby or as a 4-year-old around 5 a.m. in the morning. You can shut your eyes and listen to it. Yes, you guessed it. I grew up in a very tiny little home, just 300 square feet. You could call it a chawl, right? But it was a very proud chawl. You know, it was shared by my dad, my mother, 4 siblings, 2 cats, and 2 hens. So yes, it was cacophony, it was music, it was everything. And so Dad was in the railways, and my house was right next to the railway tracks. I could hear the distant church bells from across St. Teresa's, and from across the railway tracks there were many mosques. So this was so beautiful for me, and I thought that was music. And that was melody, there was rhythm of the trains, and there was harmony, different faiths coming together. It was beautiful. So that's when I experienced, yes, in the dead silence of the morning and the night, this was music for me. And as I started growing up, Dad realized, that perhaps she's talented, so let's send her for music classes. And away I went, and Mom would pamper me with beautiful dresses to play on All India Radio, and I fell for it. Well, no one could see my dress, right? But I fell for it. And ever since then, she developed a passion in me to want to dress also, whilst I played and performed. And at a very young age, I lost my father, very tragically, and I decided, Mom works too hard, right? She just was a simple teacher. So I joined a band at age 14 whilst I was still in school. I saw myself through college. I even stitched my own wedding gown years later. And as I was growing up, I started playing for, someone just mentioned community. It's really, really important to give of yourself. And at that moment, I decided I'd, train children, play in churches, play for plays, play for theatre. And whilst I was doing that, someone gifted me an old Runme headphones. And that for me was the first moment, or the epiphany moment, when I realized I want to be a producer. So I told my mother, I want to be a composer, I want to be a producer, because I could hear strings and violins and tablas and sarangis and harmonies coming from 360 degrees around my head. And that's when I said, yes, I'm going to be a producer. And so as I was composing music for plays and theatre, I went up to 2 very famous music directors, and I said, I want to be a producer, I want to buy what you have. So one of them looked at me and said, you're a chit of a girl, you want to enter a man's world? Not possible, this is meant for men. And you can't be a producer, I don't think you can afford it. And well, I know I have a ear for music, but I also am very stubborn. I hear what I want to hear. So I pretended, he said, you can afford it, right? So I went out and I took a little loan. I worked really hard, took whatever recordings I could take. And the next thing I know is I have my own keyboard. And at that moment, somewhere in my life at that time, I thought I was falling in love. And even though I got a scholarship to Berklee, I didn't take it and decided to stay back and do music. And around that time, things were not going so well in my personal life, and music again was my savior and my succor. And I decided to take that forward and learn the art of digital music, right? Just playing on stage was not good enough for me. So I wanted to work with music directors, with producers and film directors. And whilst playing in a church one day, a music producer actually was passing through and heard me and says, "Would you like to be part of my first film?" And when I play that song, I want you all to sing with me, okay? It's really fun, and you're going to sing with me. And that was my first song that I co-wrote, co-composed, and played for this crazy film. And it goes like this. I don't know the words too well, so you got to sing with me. But whilst all this was happening, I realized what a gift I have. I'm blessed with music, and I formed an all-female band, and we travel across the world and across the country, and we take Marathi, Bengali, Sufi, Konkani, Odissi, Bhojpuri, anything, any language, and we empower women through the sound of folk music and songs for the Ladli generation. For the Nyari, like there's one of the songs which I say, Devi Mahashakti, Kaisi Bhakti, Tere har sapne ho pure, Asman ko chule, Jo chahe wo pale, Behnaye todo diware, Hausla himmat rakhe, Dunya mein ud jare. So I take music like this and I go into tiny towns and states and tell mothers, let your children fly. Empower them to whatever they want to be. Any passion is fine, but as long as you have passion within you, yes, you can touch the sky. You know, when she came and says, "You're a superstar," I said, "Yes, I'm a superstar." So if we believe we're superstars, we can achieve anything that we want. And through the years, as music continued to empower me, and I started doing lectures in schools to edutain them. So using music, using your art form to be passionate enough and send a message. You know, right from the 16th or 14th centuries, composers like Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and Rachmaninoff, and even our classical music composers, you know, Bismillah Khan, and so many of them have used music to empower people, to fight wars, to inspire, to have communities come together. And I thought, what better way than to use my music to do just that, and not just entertain. And as I stand here right before you, my journey has moved on, and strangely, 2 years ago, a friend of mine said, "Will you come to Berklee? I know you didn't get a chance to do that." So many years later, almost 25 years later, I went to Berklee to actually study there for a month. And I went very confidently thinking, well, I'm just going to reinforce what I know. But no, it was to uncover what I don't. Yes? So I believe the learning never stops. It begins every day. In fact, sitting out here, I was listening to Harish and everyone and Tista, and I said, oh my God, there's so much to learn. And I'm going to incorporate that into my music. So this point of my life, I'm doing something which is so unique. I'm going to make you compose your own sound. I do something called sonic branding. So if the whole world were blind, what would your brand sound like? I believe each of us here sitting is a brand, and we have a sound to ourselves. So just recently, I'm not going to take the name of the airline, but you will guess what it is. And every brand has an avatar and a rasa. The avatar is your personality. Are you a caregiver? You could be a mother. You could be a powerful politician. You could be anything. Or you could be a magician. And your rasa is your emotion. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you excited? Right? So we blend that into a sound. So here I am standing and so excited and happy and fortunate to brand things like soy sauce, even sauces, the sound of petroleum, the sound of a bank. Yes, so that's what I do right now. And this was an airline which they told me that the rasa or the personality was carefree and caregiving. And yes, this is how it goes. Carefree feeling, flying on air, right? So this is branding of an airline. And so yes, and so this is called branding, and I would like to brand TEDxVersovaWomen right here on the spot. Can we do that? Right? So I would need your help on that. So what do you consider yourselves? What's your personality? What's your avatar? Powerful? Powerful? Yes. What else? Articulate. Unconventional. And okay, so empathy. Oh, wonderful. So a bit of caring, a bit of power, and feeling all those emotions, right? So these are, okay, do re mi fa sol la ti do sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So give me random notes. Any, just sing sa re. Wonderful, we have a fabulous musician, a singer with da. Any other note? Da. What did you say? Re, da, sa, re, right? So pa, re, mi, right? Okay, so we've got 3 notes so far. It's fine, you can brand yourselves in 3 notes, 2 notes, 5 notes, it doesn't matter, right? So, right? So, well, the caring, yes. TEDxVersovaWomen. And guess what? I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to go back into the studio and produce it because it was created right here. So we could use it for environmental issues, for learning, for anything.